Alright, moving on. Another pretty janky deck that I'm excited to play. This is a Grixis Lazav, the Multifarious deck. I was asked to brew around Lazav. I think that kind of the obvious card to pair Lazav with is Kroxa, copying Kroxa super early. I also think Vial is pretty good with both Kroxa and Lazav. I really want to draw step Kroxa, make my opponent discard their draw step card. And then Kroxa also, and then Lazav also pairs well with Hunted Horror, which is a 7/7 trample that when it enters the battlefield, your opponents make 2 3/3 tokens. And so if it's just in the graveyard, you don't have that that downside. And then you also have Torpor Orb to turn off the downsides of Hunted Horror and Kroxa. And we're also playing Shadows just kind of as like a decent card in the Grixis Painful mana base, and then is also something you can copy with Lazav, potentially. Gives you maybe a density of creatures for Vial. We also get Lurrus as a companion, which is kind of cool. Definitely a bit of jank, but I'm excited. Oh, Eater of Days is 4 mana too. Yeah, that one's just like so much worse than all the other ones. Oh man, no land to go with our Vial, but this is actually a pretty exciting hand. This is a pretty exciting hand. I might put back the Vial. I might put back Vial, I'm not sure. And just go Inquisition into Orb into Kroxa. Although I kind of like, maybe I should put back Inquisition. Let's do that, I think. Did I brew the zombies deck you played last month? The ones last month, yeah. Like the initial list came from Antifa Lockhart. And then I ended up, kind of putting my own twist on it. But like a lot, like basically all the zombies lists I put together. Although Lockhart did inspire the black-white one with the Brood Moth. And then Lockhart also donated for the red-black one. Oh yeah, forgot about that one. We've been playing so many zombie decks. Well, we can actually turn off... I'm getting Blood Crypt here. With Vial on 2, we can just Vial on all of our 2 blue drops. So we can turn off Thought Not Seer here, which is kind of funny. And then how does my opponent ever beat a Kroxa? Is this a good turn 2? Turn 2, Hunted Horror and Kroxa? What the fuck? This is nasty. This is nasty. Oh my gosh. Nice Expedition map. I mean maybe unironically nice Expedition map. But even if they always dust next turn, we can Vial and Lazav and then copy Hunted Horror. Did we break it? Is Modern just accidentally broken now? If you're thinking about Vial turn 1 or not, this might not be a Vial deck. This is definitely a weird Vial deck where like Vial is kind of like a tricky card with like Lazav, and it's kind of just like a... Yeah, it's definitely not a typical Vial deck, I would say. They discard Wastes, and then they take 13. Could put Lurrus into the hand. Probably fine to do, can't play the Shadow. Also kind of nice to maybe not show them Shadow. Maybe I wasn't supposed to show them blue, but maybe showing them blue will just confuse them more. Now, I'm not playing Thought Scour. I am playing Insolent Neonate, which is good with Lazav and Lurrus, I think. And is also a creature you can Vial in. Was taking Vial to 3 and putting Lurrus in hand in consideration. I don't think you're supposed to take Vial to 3 this turn, especially because like the way we could lose this game is to All Is Dust. And so to play around that, we can let All Is Dust resolve, then Vial and Lazav, copy Hunted Horror, or Kroxa and just kill them. We do lose the Surveil off the Lazav with the Orb, but that's probably got to be fine. Is my opponent going to be able to survive here? Uncolv, sorry for having no idea how to pronounce your username, but huge shout out for your subscription. Best deck in Modern right now? This one, I guess. Discovered my YouTube yesterday. Awesome. Love to see people coming in from the YouTube. Well, Lazav is winning us this game. We had a great draw. Nightclaw of the Bloodless. What is that a reference to? I guess I should have waited till instep, but opponent very clearly didn't have anything else. Deck obviously busted, or at least will be if we draw like this every game and our opponents never interact with us. Well, we've got this sketchy Grim Lavamancer in our sideboard. I think I'm cutting the pushes. I really hate push against E-Tron. I'm probably gonna bring in like 3 Damping Spheres and the Terminates. I think Inquisition, I guess, is better on the play. Balloon, 5 months. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate ya. Yeah, you can maybe play some amount of Stubborn Denial on this deck. I'll play the 4th sphere on the draw, I guess. If you only bring in 3 spheres against Tron, well, this is Eldrazi Tron. But I would bring in the 4 spheres against Amulet Titan and Green Tron. But Eldrazi Tron is, can sometimes just ignore sphere. And so maybe it's kind of bad to draw 2. I think we probably keep this. Like, we can maybe cycle through our deck a bit with Neonate plus Lurrus. One moves to 6. Could this be Witch's Cottage deck we've been waiting for? Oh, maybe this should be a Witch's Cottage deck. I've played some Witch's Cottage before. Ooh, Relic is kind of good. I played some Witch's Cottage zombies. I do feel like that cottage has some legs in Modern. Yeah, I really wish that there were more arts like this. I hope that Wizards commission some, because these are definitely super popular. Second Orb is not that good here. No, this deck actually only plays 1 non-swamp, and it's the Mountain. This deck is a shadow deck. It is mostly black spells. Has Vial even to help with your blue creatures. So, yeah, I could definitely see playing 1 Witch's Cottage. I might have a Thoughtseize that they just didn't want to play. Maybe to hold up Relic activation. Take the Vial up to 2. This deck is awesome. This deck is so cool. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm gonna put Lurrus into my hand here, I think. Kind of nice that it can't be Thoughtseize, and then can start generating value with Neonate. Thinking about the card, it feels weird as Death Shadow. I think that that's totally fine. A fine take here. It's definitely weird. I agree. I'm choosing to play it I think it's kind of free to play with this very painful mana base. I think it is also something to copy with Lazav. And since this was a Lazav build around, I wanted to try to make that card as good as I could. I think I'm gonna leave the Vial on too. It's not a bad draw at all. I'm gonna attack with both of my guys. I think they're gonna double block the Hunted Horror. Nobody knows Neonate has Menace. Nobody has any idea. Maybe I should have discarded the Orb. Probably should have. I'm actually gonna play the second Neonate here. I might even end up taking the Vial up to 3 next turn. I'm not sure if the Neonates are good. I think that they make sense to me, but this was one of the cards I wasn't sure of. I wasn't 100% on the Shadows, but I think they're gonna end up being fine. The card's obviously just a very powerful effect, and maybe attacks from a different angle from the rest of the deck. And is also a pretty well-positioned card, I'll also say. So I could sack this now in an attempt to, if I draw a 2-mana creature, I could Vial it in. How about a 2-mana artifact? Yeah, I mean, this deck obviously is going to have a lot of question marks being, you know, a janky brew. And Snaring Bridge is also in... We have no outs to Ensnaring Bridge. Right? We have Jace Vryn's Prodigy, which is not a very good out. But, well, even Lurrus' trigger is turned off. Attack with Lazav, then copy. Oh, I see. That might work. That might work. I'll leave the Vial on 2 now. Damping Sphere, I guess isn't doing anything. I'm gonna attack Karn and I'm gonna attack them with the Shadow. Maybe I'm just supposed to attack them with both. This deck could use some Battle Rages. Maybe. I feel like Battle Rage is a bit win more. Just like, what if you draw Torpor Orb and Battle Rage? Just might lose. We'll Dismember. Well. Get rid of Orb, Kroxa ETB. But how do we can't get rid of Orb. We don't have a way to get rid of Orb. Is this just Black Red Shadow with Torpor Orb? No. Yeah, we've got some outs here. Obviously, the Snaring Bridge is a boring card to play against. No, I mean maybe we should have, you know, Artifact Destruction in the sideboard. Sideboards, of course, are always like the trickiest thing to build. But yeah, Lazav plus getting a big guy in the graveyard with them having a card in their hand could be how we get out of this. Kroxa doesn't trigger and obviously can't attack either. But we can Vial in a 6/6. Yeah, I mean, a Braid is a fine sideboard card. You could also like main deck Kolagon's Command, I think, pretty easily in this list. But also, I mean, how popular is E-Tron? How bad is the E-Tron matchup? These are questions you need to ask yourself. We also, again, have Jace Vryn's Prodigy that can, like, theoretically ultimates, but that's probably not going to be good enough to win. Oh, yeah, Blast Zone on 2 is going to be gnarly. They get Tower. Weird. Yeah, they can win with Karn getting Ballista. That's how they win. Blast on 2 is great for us. In what way is it great for us? That it kills the orb? Maybe it is good for us. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Fair enough. Can attack with Lurrus, which of course doesn't do anything. Surprised they haven't dismembered the Shadow. Yeah, they did dismember. Oh yeah, they didn't. They cycled Relic, not casting Dismember. I mean, the Shadow isn't doing anything here. They also have the Dismember for the Lurrus. I think I'm just gonna concede. Guess we'll see what this is. So I think on the play, I want the second Inquisition over the fourth sphere. I also didn't mean to cut a... Okay, sorry, I didn't cut. Fair enough. Alright, submit. Lavamancer is an out to bridge. Is that worth it? I feel like we don't even care about their creatures at all. I'm gonna play the Lavamancer. Don't you have to play discard Kroxa for Lazav instead of putting it into play? I guess I did, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have Vialed in the Kroxa. Kind because Lazav was our plan. But they also had Dismember. It's like we weren't really winning that game, I think. Sounds fine. Why do I have Vial in this deck? I think Vial's good. Like, Vial is mostly like a tricky card that also lets you have some really nut draws, like we had game 1 where we go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Orb, turn 3 Violin, Hunted Horror, cast Kroxa. It gives you some nut draws, and it's also like pretty tricky with Kroxa, tricky with Lazav. Good with Lurrus too. Like, you always at least have Lurrus to like turn your Vial into a Black Lotus, which is maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but kind of feels like a somewhat apt comparison. Alright, so they do have Tron, and they have 2 Ugins, so this is a very good hand. I guess I'm just taking the Maze Mind Tome. If only we had the... If only we had the... Maybe I was supposed to discard the Vial to the Neonate, actually. We could maybe beat Ugins though. And the second Vial also. Oh yeah, we can kill Ugins maybe. I suppose they actually have infinite chump blockers. It's gonna be interesting. You cannot violent adventure creatures, no. Merchant also means you can't play Lurrus as a companion. Do another Maze Mind Tome anyways. But I hope that this turn has definitely illustrated why I like to have why I think Vial is worth playing. It's definitely a weird Vial deck, but I think Vial's good. And do I want to take... I think I'll take the other Vial up to 3 for the Lurrus. Am I attacking Neonate at them? I think I am. Or sorry, Neonate at the Ugin. That way if they minus the Ugin on the Kroxa next turn, then the Neonate kills the Ugin. You can't violent adventure creatures. I mean, I'm from the adventure zone. Obviously, you can vial them in from your hand. I don't know if that's if we're just trying to debate or if you're actually genuinely asking. That's how it works. If they kill Kroxa, you can transform Jace next turn. Yeah. You know, one of their 2 cards is another Ugin, so they might actually just minus Ugin and play another one. And then obviously the Relic is a thorn in our side too. Go for the plus instead. Haunted Horror would be pretty good to get some trample going. We go always no, always yield. Oh, I hate, man. Okay, always no. Aether Vials can be, I don't know, maybe it's not confusing for everybody, but sometimes it feels like a bit of a pain to use. Yeah, I think I'm sending everybody at Ugin here. If they kill Lurrus, it's bad because they just have another Ugin in hand. Yeah, never mind. Don't think we can afford to do this. They can also respond to this trigger by popping their relic. I'm not sure if they're going to. It's probably just good for us to still sack the Neonate. Dig for Hunted Horror a bit. They probably should pop their relic here. Just to go to draw a card. Right, save that for Jace. Pass it back. Yeah, Damping Sphere would be good too. It's a good, very good point. Although Ugin being a cost reduction is maybe makes that less relevant. Scavenger Grounds, more Graveyard Hate. Their hand is Ugin, 3 unknowns. They minus on Lurrus, which is very surprising. Guess it makes sense. Just wasn't really expecting it. And a 5/5 Ballista. Yeah, they were probably just dead. Tough stuff. Deck is at least looking pretty cool. 1-game-1 pretty handily. Keep this hand, I think. Sounds weird though. Sounded better than you had. No worries, dude. Am I a full-time streamer? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Alright, I guess only 2 question marks. Yeah, full-time streamer, full-time e-boy, full-time MTGO user. I wear a lot of different hats. Been full-time for a while now. This makes me think that this is Titan Shift. Kind of cool that we get to Violin Death Shadow on turn 2. I think that's what we're doing. Oh, it's the Dwarven Mind Polymorph deck. How scared of this Hour of Promise am I? Probably not that scared. I think we can flash back. I think we can flash back the Thoughtseize with the Jace. Or I guess I'm gonna hope that we can. Which hat would you like a chest? Full-time human, part-time human. Have I thought about writing articles for an MTG site? Kind of. Honestly, if I was going to be writing articles for an MTG site, I'd want it to pay really well, which is maybe an obvious statement, but I'd rather do videos, I think, than articles. Yeah, them drawing a ramp spell made my line worse, but I guess I can Kroxa and they have to discard the Hour of Promise or a land here. And then they need to draw untapped land if they keep the Hour of Promise. And that's what they do. And then if they don't, we can discard the Hour next turn. Can also just maybe fairly Hunted Horror, probably not. They drew a ramp spell, so we can Thoughtseize the Hour of Promise. Wear whichever hat you want to today, hell yeah. I haven't worn the Viking hat in a while. Not sure what hat is the most flavorful though for today's stream. I also get to attack with the Shadow. And then next turn we can tick the Vial up to 3 and Vial and Lurrus if we want to. Let's get the hat. Okay, drew a Lightning Bolts for turn. Which we can maybe get the Shadow back with Lurrus. You can Inquisition yourself, right? Yeah, so if we draw a Lazav, we can copy... Oh, no, I meant to end of turn, Vial. Got kind of distracted by the hat. It's fine. Just keeping our life total high for Shadow. Push is pretty good so that we can push in response to a polymorph effect. And do I want to play out this Vial? I think I do. We already have a card that we are fine discarding. Does anyone know what rarity they made Shadow on Arena? I think it's all like effectively the same rarity because you just buy the expansion and every card comes in it, right? Like it has a symbol probably, but so I'm gonna always note to that one. Always note to that one. We're a card in the yard shy of just escaping Kroxa. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna go -3 my Jace to get that card in the yard and then escape the Kroxa. Doesn't mean we don't have like anything to go with the Lurrus, but it's a decent amount of pressure for our opponent. Discard Scape Shifts. Doesn't mean we are opening ourselves up to a polymorph effect too. I think this is a fine line. Did win game 1. Not too much against the Titan Shift matchup. Like, I mean, also I think our main deck is fine, where Fatal Push is actually a good card to stop their polymorph effects. I think we're just going to resubmit. Shouldn't you swing with Lurrus since they can't block and you lose both creatures? If I attack with Lurrus, I gain 3 life and it kills my Shadow. So, no, I shouldn't attack with Lurrus. I'm going to keep this. Vialing and Kroxa is pretty cool. If we draw a fetch land, we can also Vial and Shadow on turn 2 again. Suspends the search for tomorrow. The nut draw. Hoping for no Veil, I guess. Hoping to also draw a fetch land, which I didn't, but, you know, we'll take a land, I guess. Rampant Growth, 3 Polymorphs, Pirate's Pillage. I guess I'm just going to Thoughtseize the Pirate's Pillage. Probably shouldn't Vial in this Shadow next turn too. Probably be a mistake. Or this turn, rather. Yeah, if they just draw a fetch land, we get Titaned here. They drew a Valakut instead. They need to draw a fetch land in order to have their polymorphs do anything. Is it actually better? Oh, I should have got blue, but whatever. Because we can just Vial in our 2 drops. But maybe I would have put Lurrus into my hand this turn and start looping Kroxa. I think I'm just going to do this. Doesn't really matter because they like 2 of their 3 cards do exactly the same, or all 3 of their cards are exactly the same card here. So this isn't accomplishing a ton until potentially next turn if we can escape Kroxa. Also going to leave this on 2 for next turn. They drew a Farseek, which again is not a Dwarven Mine. It can actually, could get a Dwarven Mine, but the Dwarven Mine would enter tapped and not trigger. Alright, that's a good draw. And then next turn, we can Lurrus and get back Kroxa and stop them and get the polymorph out of their hand. So they only had 1 turn to hit the Titan and they hit it. So feels bad. Let's go to game 3. How this works is they fetch up Dwarven Mine, they get a token, they cast Creativity, and then they always get to put Primeval Titan into play. Close game. I don't think we had a line. Like, the only different line is to, like, Thoughtseize one of the polymorphs and hope they just keep Pirate's Pillage, but that's also probably not great. Yeah, actually, that's kind of funny. I didn't even think about that, but Torpor Orb is also just kind of good in this matchup. What do I think of this iteration of Titan Shift? I think it's interesting. I don't know exactly how good it is, but I'm definitely interested by it. Really, Titan is better than Emrakul? Sometimes, yeah, in their deck. Absolutely. Titan just, like, comes down and kills you a lot of the time. And, you know, people have outs to Titan. They don't always have outs to Emrakul. Alright, an actual Lazav hand. Pretty exciting. We can Neonate away the Horror and then copy Horror with Lazav. Although I guess we need to draw a land to do anything. We got a couple turns to draw land, and we have a Neonate for a draw. We'd also we could actually even just use Lazav for the Surveil if that could maybe be better. No Veil of Summer, no Veil of Summer, no Veil of Summer. Thank goodness. Well, they do have two mana ramp spells. I think I'll just take the creativity. Yeah, I know I misspelled Lazav. I really thought it was an S. I even used to have a 4-mana Lazav commander deck, and I thought it was spelled Lasav. But I also don't apologize, I think. There's never been a spelling stream. It's never even been close to a spelling stream. So many options here. Canister, thank you for the raid. Hope you're having a good day today, dude. It's Donation Deck Thursday. We're playing some jank, as we often do on Thursdays. We're playing I was asked to build around Lazav the Multifarious, and in order to do so... My opponent didn't draw the polymorph, okay. In order to do so, I'm playing Hunted Horror and Kroxa, and Lazav can copy them from the graveyard without their downside, and then Torpor Orb also turns on both of those cards. So hopefully we can Surveil into a land. We did Surveil into a land, and now we can copy Hunted Horror with Lazav. 7/7 Trample. Hope it's good enough. Hope my opponent doesn't top deck a Titan or a Polymorph. Does your deck contain Shriekcore? No, so it's not very good. You were playing Dredge earlier today, right? How did that go? We did it though. We have successfully copied a Hunted Horror with Lazav. I'm feeling pretty good. Did you top deck something? They did not. And now we even get to get Torpor Orb down to make Titans not very impactful. Don't need to take up the Vial to 3 for Lurrus just yet. Opponent not reading Hunted Horror, I think, unless, you know, I mean, maybe just gaining 1 life is good. I'm not sure how relevant it is, though. Would this deck want Thought Scour? I don't know. I feel like if you play Thought Scour, your Vials get way worse. And, you know, I do think the Vials are good, but it is definitely a very weird Vial deck where you're just kind of trying to be, like, tricky with it. Like, play Orb and then Vial in your 2-drop on the same turn sometimes. I'll keep this. It's, like, just kind of a decent shadow hand. Melton's a bit awkward. Thoughtscour lets you play Drown. I mean, Thoughtscour, I think, would just be a very different deck. Opponent's like, you accidentally click Torpor Orb in your shadow deck. Yeah, the blue splash is also super light. We have 7 blue cards, and like they're also creatures, so you can just Vial them in too. Take one of my 2 shadows. I kind of don't like showing them Watery Grave right now, but I also don't like playing Blood Crypt and giving them perfect information to what my hand is. Easiest Thoughtseize of the day so far. Just playing against Boomer Jund. So we get to go Thoughtseize their push, see if they drew anything else. And then now if we play Shadow, it's just dying to the bolts. But I actually think that that's okay since we have Jace in our hand. They didn't bolt the Shadow either, which is a bit weird. Has Torpor Orb turn off Skyclave Apparition come up yet? We haven't played against Skyclave yet, but it did turn off opposing Primeval Titans. They drew a Wrenn and 6? Or they drew a 2-drop, I think. Yeah. I sure am glad I didn't play out that Torpor Orb. Golly. I think I'm discarding it. Thankfully they have the combo of basic forest plus Kroxa in their hands. They need to draw another black to Kroxa next turn. Eater of Days too janky. Yeah, Eater of Days is like by far the worst payoff for this kind of deck, and it also means you can't have Lurrus as a companion. Yeah, I think I'm gonna block and flip Jace. A very rough play on my stream. I needed to draw a land at my draw step, and I didn't know whether to use it or not. To Shriekhorn your upkeep, do you have any advice? Yeah, if there's a land on the top of your library, you shouldn't Shriekhorn, and then if there's not one, and there's one like 2-3 cards down, you probably should Shriekhorn. Would be my thought process. That's what I would do. Tap black source, alright. So now we can Lurrus plus Shadow. Discard that to the Kroxa, I guess. And then this is going to be a 6 power creature. We can shrink it down to 4 and block with the Shadow. We'd also get back Torpor Orb with the Lurrus if we draw a Hunted Horror or a Kroxa. 4/7 is a weird power toughness to see too. Vryn 6 was a good draw. Yeah, the Vials have been pretty good. It's definitely a weird Vial deck, but just does let you be pretty tricky sometimes. Tricky. And then the Shadow should be able to eat the Kroxa in combat. Tarmogoyf is also much smaller now. Teeny tiny Tarmo. Neonate. Pretty straightforward turn, I guess. I also have Neonate plus Lurrus value in the deck. Maybe using the term value a little bit loosely. Hopefully my opponent just drew, Inquisition or Thoughtseize. Kind of close to ultimating this too. So my opponent's tanking. Obviously they do have some decisions. Vryn 6 picking Neonate versus plussing, attacking with Kroxa or nah. Activate Ravine or play the card in their hand.
Dude, there's someone knocking on our door.
Alright, check it out.
Can you take the hat off?
Yep. Did you see who it was?
No.
Okay. Sorry for that. Just some kids like selling shit. Alright. Guess I want to do you want Inquisition or Thoughtseize? I think I want Inquisition. I'm kind of scared of like them just drawing a burn spell and killing me with the Kroxa attack. Yep. Damn it. Maybe not, damn it, actually. Because I can maybe attack with Lurrus here. Also, if I attack with this is 18. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna suicide the Lurrus, so I could Vial in the Kroxa. Because we're dead to the Kroxa attack plus ping unless we discard the Kroxa to their Kroxa, which I don't want to do. This one. Oh, I forgot about the Ravine. Kind of interesting. So yeah, so they can keep their Kroxa in play, but we go up to 7 life, so they need to draw another burn spell. Or I guess, are we dead to? We're dead to Vryn 6 minus on Neonate. Neonate block. We are dead, aren't we? Forgot about the Ravine. I guess I'll make them ping the Neonate, but. Oh no, if they ping Neonate, They're not. No, we still take exactly 7. Damn it. Tough game. I'm bringing in the. Do I want the Bloodchief's Thirst? Thirst, I think, is better than Push because it kills Vryn. Something like this. It's like Neonate looking for Push. I guess that was the line. Yeah, I forgot we had Fatal Push as outs. Weird turn, weird game. Hard to mulligan a hand like this. Yeah, we discard Kroxa to the Neonate, then we can push their Kroxa though, which is an out. I think I'm taking Bloodbraid Elf here. If they just draw like another threat, I'm gonna want to take that with the Thoughtseize potentially. Potentially lean on Lurrus this game. Good draw, opponent. So now I'll take the push. I think Shadow will be out of bolt range next turn. Maybe my opponent will cast Torpor Orb. Maybe not. So they do have a bolt in their hand that we need to think about. We haven't copied Kroxa with Lazav. We have copied Hunted Horror with Lazav though. How did the pro black deck go? 0-4 drop. Not as good as we had hoped. Sad to have this and not Thirst. Also sad to have 2 Hunted Horror in my hand. I don't think I'm playing Lurrus just into the Spell Bomb plus Bolt. Torpor Orb is good against that. This seems like a bad matchup. Get back Vryn and Catacombs. And pass. That Spellbomb was so bad for us. Fair Hunted Horror is why I usually play Bolt instead of Push. Man. I get it, but I'm not stoked about the Fair Hunted Horror lines, I gotta tell you. Well, the idea is that Lazav is kind of like our second Torpor Orb. Yeah, we're never beating Liliana here. Tough stuff. Tough stuff. Chariot. It's kind of like a stompy deck. I can keep this on the draw. I think I'm Thoughtseizing on turn 1. Yikes. Well, hopefully we can just play 2 shadows next turn. Although we do have 1 red land in the deck. We have 1 basic mountain. I hate Manamorphose. Ah, so good. So good. Manamorphose says, "Oh, you hate me, I hear." Opponent put 2 cards on top with Serum Visions. Things are looking bad. They're probably not going to sack their mountain. Although I guess they might. They have mutagenic growth. Aw. Man, Prowess is a good deck. Wait, they can put me to... They could kill me. They could kill me if they have another 0 mana spell. They put 2 cards on top, so I'm not feeling very alive here.
You noticed? Did you notice the toast was different?
I noticed that was good. It was good. I don't really notice a difference though.
So you liked the toast today? Did you like it yesterday?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yesterday was butter and red pepper flakes. Today was goat cheese.
Both were good. Well, we're not dead yet. My life total is not 0. Sprite Dragon was one of the very few spells we could possibly beat. Lightning Bolt was not on the list of spells that beat me. What a game, though. What a game. Something like this for game 2?
It's always made with love. But it wasn't just butter, it was butter and butter and red pepper flakes.
That was good.
That's what makes it different than just butter.
Keep.
Because he just eats what I give him.
Yeah. We can probably afford to not actually get blue mana because we have Vial. I also think I'm going to play Torpor Orb. We have a few ways to loot away this Vial, which is also kind of a nice synergy in the deck. Stop my opponent's Bedlam Reveler. Opponent probably a little confused to see this. It does turn off my Surveil, which would, I could just, of course, spike a creature to go with the Lazav.
Lazav? Some Lazavna?
I don't know what you're saying right now.
Lasagna?
Is this a reference?
No.
You're just saying lasagna.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not lasagna.
I'm just word associating, baby.
I see.
Nice word association, baby.
Alright, I want to save a Terminate for a Stormwing entity, so I'm going to push that, even if it's more mana efficient to Terminate. Alright, be gone. Be gone.
Be gone.
Yep. I guess I'll play the second Vial. So it is relevant with the Lurrus. It's also kind of nice if Jace dies, Lazav can copy it. Is careful studying a fixed version of Faithless Looting for Modern. Found the Phoenix player. Found the blue-red Phoenix player. That's pretty okay with me. Just gonna keep that to loot, I guess. You're not a Phoenix player at all. Well, I guess. I don't think so. I don't think that. I think Careful Study would be immediately one of the best cards in Modern. It would be like overnight, as soon as it's put in the format, one of the best cards. And I think that if that's the case, if you're printing a card into a format that just immediately changes it drastically, you've probably made a mistake, is my opinion. I'm gonna leave the Vial on 2 for now. Take up to 3. Or take up to 2 over here. Nice! That's a great draw. We're gonna have a good turn. How long do we get to play with Kroxa before that's banned also? Probably forever. I don't really... I don't think we've broken it here. Yeah, this is certainly textbook Checo right now. Did you miss Bant Retreat? No, that's next. And after that, we've got a Pioneer deck, which I'm kind of excited to play. Some like just Pioneer aggro deck. It's gonna be cool. It's playing the Chariot, the Seeka's Chariot, and like copying it with Saheeli. It looks really cool. It's like a Teamer Stompy deck with a lot of spice. What's a Checo? Checo is an old meme on the channel that I once my opponent had an Ashiok in play and I had a counterbalance, and my opponent cast a spell when I knew my top card, and so I wanted to shuffle my library to get a different CMC or a chance to get a different CMC, and so I fetched knowing I wouldn't be able to get a land through the Ashiok, but my opponent said Checo because I fetched into the Ashiok, and then later I had a 3 CMC on top with counterbalance, and they played a 3-drop into it and got countered, and then they played another 3-drop into it the same turn, and I said Checo back to them. So it's been a recurring meme on the channel. So hand's really good, gonna keep. On turn 3 we get to put both of these into play. Might be a little slow. Oh, my opponent's kept a slow hand. JF, 5 months. Hell yeah, thanks, buddy. Glad that you like the stream. Another Hunted Horror is definitely something we'll take. No! I mean, at least they're not spell piercing the orb, right? Scared of their flyers here. Also scared of another spell pierce. Do they just have second spell pierce? I think that they might. One thing we could do is we could play Kroxa this turn and then Inquisition plus Orb next turn. I think we'll play Inquisition plus Orb tapped, or Blood Crypt tapped to save life. I think that that's a good bit better. Bolt me. Well, playing the Orb would have been better, I suppose. I guess their hand isn't that fast. Maybe it is. I think it's too slow to not play. Or maybe, yeah, maybe. Could draw Fatal Push or Bloodchief's Thirst next turn. We're still at 15. If you played the Orb, I would have just died that turn. I don't think so. Maybe. Maybe, actually. Now that you mention it, maybe. At least they didn't draw Spell Pierce, right? Gonna have a good turn next turn. No, don't. No, opponent! You can't do this to me. It's not fair. What did I do to deserve this? Maybe register Torpor Orb is what I did. And they found light at the stage. Yikes. To Entity Burst Lightning. And so if we cast Kroxa, we actually let them Entity. We let them Entity if we cast Kroxa here. But they can Entity anyways if they draw a land. I'm casting Kroxa. I guess we could have maybe put Lurrus into our hand this turn. Would that have been better? And pushed. Yeah, push is a good draw. They drew Manamorphose anyways. A deck tech for Brachiosaurus. Fiend Coco in Pioneer. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these decks. I think I've seen exactly this deck. I can't remember who played it. It might have been Doomwake. Pure Salt, thank you for your resubscription. I should have let them scry too first, just a bit tilted. One card on bottom, one card on top. When we do get to escape Kroxa, we maybe just like race, but doesn't feel all that likely. I'll get back to the deck in a second. Hold on. Opponent's hand is Dart mystery card. They discard the Dart. They only have one mountain to sacrifice though. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have like any tech for this deck. It seems fine. I'm not sure if Embodiment of Agonies is any good. Like that card, oh, they have mutagenic growth. Blue-Red Prowess is just a messed up deck, man. It's just messed up. I don't even think we have outs if they dart here, right? We go to 11. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah. No, we go to 1, but we don't have outs. Yikes, messed up that in Modern. Keep. If I had known about the 20k redeem deck tech option, I wouldn't have been storing points in offshore account. Yeah, it's too bad you didn't scroll down just a little bit. This deck has been really, really fun. How's Pioneer these days? I played a little bit of Pioneer a couple weeks ago. We're playing a Pioneer League today, actually. But I haven't been playing very much of it, is I guess what I'm saying. Would Yahini's expertise be good for this deck? Yeah, maybe Yahini's expertise would be good in the green-black deck. Kind of like that suggestion. 4 Languish feels like a lot. I feel like maybe you'd want like Bloodchief's Thirst and pushes and those kind of slots. I don't know, I think the deck did have push. Yeah, Thursday gets wild, which is really fun. I love how, you know, refreshing and different Thursday is. I think it's Amulets. Should have done Lazav combo and Pioneer. I don't know, it's just like you don't have Torpor Orb. I guess you have Hushbringer. Don't think I'm into it, honestly. I guess take that. Well, we can Violin Shadow end of turn. Probably should fetch and shock first. Oh no, we can't Violin Shadow. Sorry, I thought we had fetched and shocked to play this. Or we're 1 life point short. Can we submit a good dono deck? Ideally. It's been done before. Whispers of a good donation deck being submitted. What am I doing, Just Guy Polymorph? I don't know. I don't have it completely prepped. Like I still need to figure out the sideboard. I kind of like my main deck. Let's see. Some point maybe. No promises. But you can donate to have me play it next Thursday if you really, really want to see it. And support the stream. Yeah, I'm not going to Violin Lazav on upkeep to Surveil because I could just draw Kroxa or Hunted Horror. Yeah, donos are $40 and then $50 for me to build a deck like this one. And sometimes they're really bad, but in my defense, the cards I was being asked to build around today were also pretty bad. So the last card is T-West. They do have a new draw step. They can't Titan us. They don't have enough mana. And they can't transmute T-West. Oh no, sorry, they do have enough mana. They just play this. Never mind. You might want Viral as a Scarstrite. Maybe. It does have synergy with the deck. It does mean you lose Lurrus as a companion, which I think Lurrus is pretty good in this deck. I don't know that Viraz is good enough to justify it, and it's also another color too. Lazav would be a lot better if it were Surveil too. Be a lot better. Interesting draw. Shouldn't they have played T-West here so that they could have transmuted it next turn for sure? Yeah, I think they were supposed to play Teleria West. And then float blue. Yeah, they could have transmuted Teleria West next turn. Esther's talking so loud. I'll tell the story that she's telling in case... I don't know if you guys can actually hear her, but... Yesterday she was at work and she had a customer ask her if they had the fitting rooms open now that the mask mandate is taken down, which is obviously a stupid decision that Esther is pretty frustrated with because she's got a lot of people without masks coming in. And someone came in and says, so now that the mask mandate is lifted, when do you think you'll be opening up your fitting room? And she said, we're still, going with CDC guidelines and we're not opening up anytime soon. And then the customer went, you just lost a customer. Which was something. I think I'm going to surveil. Obviously this isn't like that good, but if we hit a 2-drop, we get to, the upside is really high. And the second Lazav isn't doing much anyways. Like she said that she did this. Yeah. It's a graveyard that, I guess. I think we're putting Lurrus in the hand. Does Esther's workmates not require customers to wear masks in the store? They do, but like every cowardly retail store in America, they don't actually enforce it, They just suggest that people wear masks because, of course, everyone is just way more interested in turning a profit than protecting their employees' safety. So frustrating. Yeah, we've trophied with donos, probably like 6 or 7 times. We've had a lot of dono decks, though. Alright, gonna bring in the Damping Spheres. Play the Terminate. Kind of funny, Torpor Orb is actually pretty good against them. I probably want to play like 2-ish push. You can probably trim on Neonate. You can maybe trim Vial when we're bringing in all these Damping Spheres. I think that makes sense. Has Esper Shadow been the most successful? Maybe. I know I trophied with zombies twice. I can't remember though if the second trophy was me playing it of my own volition or not. Let me take Dryad. It's kind of close. I guess we have to push for the Dryad. Yeah, we were probably supposed to take Amulet. Did I have any other ideas floating around? Yeah, I did. Like, I thought about, like, or I basically always thought that Vial was going to be good in this kind of, like, you always want to pair Lazav with Kroxa, I think. If you're playing Lazav, it doesn't make much sense to not be playing Kroxa, probably. And so I had that was kind of my thinking. And so I kind of had some shells that were playing, like, Seasoned Pyromancer and Lazav Kroxa. And then I really like those cards, and I was playing like some main deck Grim Lavamancers just to have like a density of creatures. I had other blue cards, but the problem was just like actually finding enough creatures that could go in a Grixis Vial deck. So I ended up getting stuck and ended up coming up with this instead. Like a Grixis like grindy Vial deck. Yeah, I had like... Ignore the sideboard because it was started from a different deck. But like this is kind of like where I started, where I had cards I was thinking about, like Cauldron Familiar, Supplier, Lavamancer, Soul Diviner, which plays well with Vial, not really good with any other card. Lurrus is also just a kind of a good card in the maybe main deck. And I ended up not liking that direction very much. I think I'm just going to leave them with the Titans in hand. They're so far away from casting one. Yeah, I know taking their turn one play is usually better, but the problem, like, Damping Sphere makes their amulet so much worse. It was sort of, I said, Brew something up speaking for Halloween, I turned up zombies 5-0 for week or 2. That sounds right. Everything just blends together. Honestly. A 9 are already playing Grixis Death Shadow. This is a Grixis deck with Death Shadow in it, but things are usually a little wilder on Thursdays. Opponent deep in the tank. Well, two of their 3 cards are Primeval Titans. This is not currently tapped for green, but a untapped or any green source off the top does let them Titan. So I guess they'll make their Titans worse by playing Orb. Potentially, this game was mismanaged. And is 2 Primeval Titans, Radiant Fountain, right? Or Vesuva? Oh, it's Vesuva, which can copy the... Could have copied the Forest. Yeah, I think they messed up. I think they got a little too greedy, thinking that their Dryad would live. This worked out so well for us. Because, yeah, they could have just Titaned this turn. I guess the Orb turns off the Titan, but just like the 6/6 is kind of likely to beat us if we don't draw Kroxa or Hunted Horror. But if we do draw Kroxa or Hunted Horror, we're doing pretty well. How does Lazav work with Kroxa? Immediately sacked? No, not at all. It just is a copy of Kroxa. Can't play Lurrus because of Sphere. Might end up discarding the Lurrus, we'll see. The Girl Tooth makes 1 colorless. Yeah, but what I was saying is they had Vesuva in their hand, so they could have copied basic Forest and cast Titan last turn, right? Oh no, they only had 5 mana. I see, never mind. Fair enough. For whatever reason I thought they had 6. Grixis Lazav Breach. I've seen this deck. My thought on it is that it's not very good, but it's very cool. I didn't want to just play this deck when I had this submission. I don't know. I think that this is a tuned list for this idea. I think that it is doing some really cool things that I think are interesting. But I also think it's very, very fragile to, you know, Damping Sphere, Artifact Hate, Graveyard Hate, Creature Removal, Counter Spells, Discard Spells. It just is very soft interaction. So like, and I don't know. You can't really play the Cottage and play Teferi Time Raveler. But I've seen this deck or decks like it for a while, and it does look really tuned. But I don't think that they're very competitive. But I think that if this is an idea that you want to play it because you like it. Looks like you have a good list. My opponent has disconnected. Gross. Hey Spike, I got a question for you. Well, my answer to that non-question is please just ask the question in chat instead of me going, okay, now ask your question. You know, just ask your question and then I'll answer it. Maybe. Is Phyrexian Dreadnought on the reserve list? I think so. Yeah, it's also not Modern Eagle. But we could have maybe played a legacy version of this deck. Lazav plus Dreadnought is pretty good. Is there a donation amount I can substitute for 20,000 channel points to check out your deck? Yes, $5 is the amount. Or 1 gifted sub. Hopefully my opponent comes back. We can take a look at the deck we're playing next while we wait. Just do some deck techs. So this is a Bant Retreats list. I'm really excited because I think Knight of the Reliquary plays so well with Feldar Retreat. Just giving it vigilance and sacking a land in combat. You also have 1 retreat to Coral Helm to combo with Knight. It's possible you should be playing more. This list looks really exciting to me. I'm stoked. This is something I've been wanting to try out. I'm not sure if this is like exactly the first draft I'd start with, but I think it's a good first draft. There's a $1 to channel point ratio. How many channel points do you get a donut league? 1 million. It's not an exact ratio. It's just like I offer deck text for this channel point option or this price point. But for the 1 million life decision channel point, I'll do a donut deck for you. I feel like cards like Egon and Lingering Souls, they feel like too fair to me. Although I guess like you are just value Goryo. This is just kind of a value Goryo's deck, so maybe it is good. Egon does have some synergy too with the deck. I like this. I think I'm into it. One card I think that would probably be good if you're trying to just kind of like fairly or like have Goryo's Vengeance be like a really powerful 2-mana spell is you might just want to play Seasoned Pyromancer over Merchant, which of course reduces your nut draws, but maybe that's fine. Or maybe not over Merchant, maybe over like Lingering Souls, because my opponent is back. But I feel like Seasoned Pyromancer might be good. Like that card is obviously just super powerful. Alright, that can answer a Titan, which is nice. Let's discard Lurrus. I guess I'll Thoughtseize a Titan too. I guess I should have Thoughtseized first. Just kind of looking at this deck. I think this is cool. I think you might want to find room for Seasoned Pyromancer. Just try to be like a... You could even... If you play Seasoned Pyromancer, you could also maybe like not play white. Although I suppose hard casting Obsidian comes out. Never mind, you want to play white probably. But I do like the idea of just like having Goryo's Vengeance be like a really powerful 2-mana spell in your like mid-range deck. I'm into it. I think Summer's Pact is probably not the card you wanted to take. Maybe it was. They have double Valakut. We have Terminate, and then the Damping Sphere makes the Pact worse. Yeah, I think this is fine. Kind of distinct to lose the Lurrus, but seemed like the right play at the time. Yeah, I don't have too many notes. I think your list is cool. Those are just some ideas I have for it. Can they get Knighted Reliquary deck back on stream? That looks spicy. Well, we're playing it next, so let's finish the match, and then we'll get it back on stream with some actual matches. Why not discard Horror and play off Lurrus? Because Damping Sphere means we can't do that. We don't have enough mana. I think I'll just Inquisition the Pact. That Goryo's deck is what you want to donate for next Thursday. Dude, we have Orb to shut off Grazer. Awesome. Yeah, I'm down. If you want, I can maybe stew on it a bit and make some changes if you want me to, but I'd also like be happy playing your list. Your list looks pretty good. Up to you. Is this game 2? I think this is game 2. Bunch is taking forever. I mean, they did disconnect. I think they're just having internet issues. Sorry, I tapped 3 mana because I was, for whatever reason, still thinking Sphere made Terminate cost 1 more. But my opponent has to chump block with their Primeval Titan next turn. Feeling really good. Man, seeing a I guess that's, I really want to see Primeval Titan chump block, but I guess we just have lethal. But I would love to see the chump block. Yeah. Feels bad. Disappointing. That was game 2. Target Terminate Jace, then wait for the attack and chump block, then Terminate. Ah, too bad our opponent scooped first. But then we could see it. Yes, that was the best line. Can't mulligan this, so I'm going to click the keep button. Obviously it's a 1-lander, but double Thoughtseize Damping Sphere is nice. Terminate is also a pretty good card to have access to. Just immediately draw a land. Make the hand great. But it has Explosives, Adventurous Impulse, which I'm told is unplayable. Titan. I guess I'm gonna take the Explosives. The command is Dono, for the Dono information. Easy to remember. Yeah, I think I want a Damping Sphere here. It's not clear to me that this is the line. But it's kind of like stone raining them. Can't be that bad, right? What's the Beetle in the sideboard? The Beetle in the sideboard is Blightbeetle, and in my opinion, it is the best sideboard card against Heliod combo. And I think that if you're a black deck that struggles with the Heliod matchup, you should be considering... You should consider playing Blightbeetle. So I could go Thoughtseize plus Neonate this turn, and then maybe just escape Kroxa the following turn. Well, easy line then. Nice when you don't really have decisions to make, I guess. So they still have a Bajuka. Oh yeah, they also had Bajuka Bog in their hands, so like that line wasn't that good. 4 mana. Yeah, with Bog in their hand, I don't think they can Titan. I mean, Titan. We're not even like that scared of Titan next turn, anyways, because we have Torpor Orb in play. Oh no! Sorry, I meant to cast Kroxa. I just clicked on the wrong card. I think it's been happening too much lately. Just not focusing enough. Embarrassing. We're still pretty ahead though, but obviously the second Damping Sphere doesn't do anything. Still ahead, right? Cast the right one this time. Think I'm due for a day off. Me too, dude. Honestly. How did the main deck donation? I like the main deck donation. I think I'd keep the same 75. So we are in bad shape if they naturally draw Valakut, but their Primeval Titan is not triggering because of the Torpor Orbs. I mean, and we just get to terminate it, so definitely doing all right. They do have a bunch of plants to block with, I guess. I'm going to go Thoughtseize, then make them discard their last card with Kroxa. Although I guess this means that my opponent can trade Titan for Kroxa. Is there any world where they don't block? Why not cast Lazav there? Next turn with the land you can Kroxa and copy. Kroxa's not going to the graveyard because of Torpor Orb. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to leave the... I think I'm just going to terminate the prime time. I don't really care about the Azusa. Now they can attack with Titan against lands. No, I have Terminate. I also like have to get a blue land here. Attacking with Kroxa doesn't accomplish that much. I think it's fine to wait. Lazav does block a Dryad. Maybe Neonate will block a Dryad too. They probably should just leave Azusa in hand to not lose 3 life. I'm not sure. More Damping Spheres. Yeah, I think we're just attacking. They're going to chomp. Then we get to play Lazav. Then we take 3 on their attack after we block with the Lazav. Oh, no, we take 5 because of Sunhome. Pretty awkward. Not dead. Why does Don't Link ask for email twice? This is just amateur hour, I guess. It's just me on this operation. Yeah, they have Dryad that can make Sunhome mana. They might not see the line. see the line. Bummer. Tough stuff. I thought this deck would do a little bit better. Obviously, it's pretty janky. It did feel like it was doing its thing a lot. But we didn't get there. I'm not sure exactly what I'd change. Also, if I was going to run another league of this deck. Can't even find it. Why not red deck? Damping Sphere means we can't also play Insolent Neonate. You can only it makes you pay more for your spells for each one beyond the first you play. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I might not play the Dark Confidants in the sideboard. My idea, of course, was to play these against like the blue control decks, and then Greentron and some combo decks might not be necessary. Might need to find a different plan for the prowess matchups if this is something you want to play, and I don't think that I recommend it. Alright, but next we've got a pretty exciting deck.